Hello, good afternoon, and welcome once again to your Wealth Class on Lagos Television. I'm Abayomi Obabulijo. We've got a lot to do on this platform this afternoon, so we will be moving rather fast. First, the Central Bank of Nigeria, in their Business Expectation Survey for the month of September, came out with a report that one of the 1,590 or thereabout business institutions that took part in this survey, about 93% of them actually submitted the questionnaires back according to the report. For the month of September against the month of August 2018, optimism was a lot better on the macroeconomy. Number two, the outlook also on volume of transactions as far as business activities and financial conditions are concerned are also better. However, there are issues. One, insufficient power supply, high interest rate, and politics. On this platform, we rarely talk about politics. However, we cannot but just touch on it a little bit, looking at how those will affect performances of the market generally and of specific equities. But that is not where we're going to be dwelling today. Basically, we want to look at such data that you need. Sometimes you really do not need all those comprehensive analysis, calculating returns on equity, returns on assets, calculating beta, and all the rest. If only you could track over time the earnings performances of these equities relating with price and comparing with market general performances and the performances of other equities either in the same industry or in other major or key industries within the market, you will be rightly guided, which is what we're going to be doing largely on this platform this afternoon. So, according to the survey by the Central Bank, businessmen generally says that Naira is appreciating, maybe not geometrically, but it is not losing value against its foreign counterparts. Well, they expect low inflation and high cost of funds. When there is high cost of funds, definitely profit will thin out. Profit margin becomes slim. Now we go to our market. As we speak, on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the last time I checked, I could see that the All-Share Index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, so far, so good. Today being the first trading day in this week, being also the second week in the month of October 2018, is showing positive signs, growing by 0.17%. Other indicators are also mixed, plus or minus. NSE 50 is down, NSE 30 is up, NSE banking is up, NSE oil and gas up, NSE consumer goods is up, and no, it's just flat. NSE industrial is up, NSE insurance up, NSE oil and gas down, NSE mainboard up, NSE pension is up, NSE premium is up. Now looking at those equities that are currently dominating activity charts, particularly in price performances, they include Lafarge, Mutual Benefits. Mutual Benefits is not one of those equities I will readily advise that to buy, because you see the price up today, tomorrow is down. When you go to make mistakes to invest in such equities, you get hooked. You find it difficult to bail out. When you want to invest at any point in time, the strategy is you must of necessity calculate the exit, because you see, for every investment that is made today, it will always be against an expectation. So one of the fundamental questions you need to ask yourself is, you are buying today because you could see certain factors that are positive, fine. But if another 2 days, 1 year, 2 years, 3 weeks, 1 month, quarter, 6 months, you intend to sell, who will be there to buy from you? Otherwise, you buy and you see the price up, and then you get hooked, and then you might not be able to bail out until again the price comes down, probably lower than how much you bought. You need to follow up on stock market information. Don't just dabble. Nimet is one of those equities that are currently up on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Jais, FCMB, Fidelity, Guarantee, and Zenith. When you talk about Guarantee and Zenith, we'll still talk about them very shortly. Now we go to the way the market performed largely last week. Well, you see, you could look at all other sector indicators, but every indicator you are making use as far as the stock market is concerned is always and should always be as against what the all share index is doing, because that is the major, that is the main. So for last week, the all share index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange was down 1.17%. However, oil and gas was up 1.13. It performed better than all the all share index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So other sector indicators that performed better last week are consumer goods index, industrial goods, pension, banking, and insurance. Now, as we speak now, the third quarter reports of quoted companies should be what you should be focusing your attentions on. Now, these results will come as we speak from next week. The way to invest in the stock market is to have an understanding. It is just an analysis, a projection, right, or a forecast of what the possibilities might be. What I've seen people do on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange or generally in the Nigerian market is that they wait until results are released. That is when they begin to rush. Very wrong strategy. But the best you should do is to begin to try to forecast what the possibilities are when the results are eventually released. You make up your mind whether you want to sell immediately or you want to buy more or you want to hold. That is the way investment should be done. And so I review with you those institutions that have bothered to intimate the market on the possible date of releasing their third quarter report. They include Dangote Cement. Dangote Cement, when it coughs, the market shakes. When it shakes, well, the market will shake. That as far as Dangote Cement is concerned. But the period to expect the result from Dangote Cement is 19th of October. Access Bank PLC, we talk about this organization so well on this platform. When to expect the result. Third quarter of Access Bank PLC is between 30th of October and early November. Diamond Bank PLC, the result that has been coming to the market from Diamond Bank has been woeful. This time around, that they have said they will be coming to the market early with their third quarter result. We hope that result this time around is better. Otherwise, from their audited report, first quarter, second quarter reports for Diamond Bank is terrible. That is not the kind of equity that people should actually be looking at. You see, figures don't have emotion. If your result is good, we say you are good. If your result is bad, we will not hesitate to say the result is bad. We are not the creator. We only say what we see. CAP, a sister company to UAC, has said that they are going to be reporting the third quarter report to the market after their board meeting on October 19. So for Diamond Bank, sorry, I didn't say it. It's October 18. So now, having said this, that is what I did on the pages of StockSwatch Weekly newspaper this today. And for the better part of the week, go and get StockSwatch Weekly newspaper and read. What I did is very simple. When you talk about bank or financial institutions in Nigeria, there are 5 of them, and that include Access Bank now in alphabetical order. Then we talk about FBNH. Of course, FBNH is a group, is a holding company, but the one that has the bigger impact on the group is actually the bank component of the group. So we also take cognizance of that. And then you talk about Guaranty, you talk about UBA, and you talk about Zenith. So when you read StockSwatch Weekly newspaper today, as a matter of fact, between me, you, and God, that paper with what we did in it for this week should sell for nothing less than 20,000 naira. I see reports that people do, and then they write stories and all those, and they sell to the public. But how much it costs is very cheap. Get a copy from your vendor, and if you could not get, please call the numbers that have just been shown on the screen. Now, what we are doing now is to look at the PEG ratio. The PEG ratio is the relationship between the P ratio and the expected earnings. So now when you put it together, you get the PEG ratio. When the PEG ratio is below 1, that stock is undervalued. When the PEG ratio is above 1, it suggests, I'm not talking about PE ratio now, PEG ratio. Now, what that suggests, if it is above 1, is that future expectation is positive. Future expectation has also been built into that. And so what we did on the pages of StockSwatch Weekly newspaper, which we are still also going to do here now, is to look at what the projection is, what the possibility is. If you are not going to get anything, what we did was to compile their earnings, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, for a 5 years period. Of course, that is a lot of work we've done for almost all the financial institutions. But again, for time and space, we decided to just look at about 5 of them, tier 1. Maybe next week on the pages of the paper and on this platform, we'll be looking at the tier 2. Now, the risk investing in tier 1 financial institutions is lower generally. And when you talk about these tier 1 financial institutions, aside from Guaranty, all of them are also there in the NSE Premium Index. All right. So there are only few organizations that are non-banks that are there as a component of NSE Premium, and that is Dangote Cement, Seplat, and Lafarge WAPCO. All others, talking about Access, Guaranty, Zenith, and UBA, they are all component of, and FBNH, as a matter of fact, they are all component of Nigerian Stock Exchange Premium Index. When you say premium, that is the best of the best, except you have another definition that is different from mine, and that is permitted. So let's go straight to see what the possibilities are in the third quarter report of Access Bank PLC that is being expected between the end of October and early November. 1 naira 95 kobo is the projection. Now, if you see the earnings of 1 naira 95 kobo, all you need to do is to compare with current price, and what you will get to see is that as at now, Access Bank is a bargain. That is what the Oracle has said. Of course, to prove me wrong, we have between now and the end of October. We move straight. If you want to get the details of this, please go and get StockSwatch newspaper. What I did here is just to extract a little bit from this. I might not have a lot of time to elaborate on this as I would have wanted to. But as far as equity guide and analysis is concerned, on television, I don't think anybody would even dare to do what we are doing now, because the time taken to compile the data alone, well, you will even need to know what to do and where to get this information. Now, we go to FBN Holdings PLC. All right, the projection is 1 naira 40 kobo from 1 naira 25 kobo the previous year. The PEG ratio is 0.5 3, which means it is under 1. Yes, people might talk about FBNH and this and that, but the truth of the matter is that, in fact, if you look at the way their earnings had gone over a period of 5 years, it has not been consistent. But one thing that the market has done is that anytime FBNH releases results that are below market expectation to the market, the price is punished, and then you see the price down. So as we speak now, the price based on the expectation, not based on performance. Oh, I wish you could get StockSwatch Weekly newspaper and see the those things that have been written there. As we speak, the expectation of 1 naira 40 kobo, if this is achieved from 1 naira 25 kobo, as low as it seems, well, it still makes the stock at current level, according to the PEG ratio, very attractive. Guaranteed Trust Bank PLC. Let me not say much, but I can say, as far as Guaranteed Trust Bank PLC is concerned, you can actually close your eyes and invest in this stock. All right. As we speak, the PEG ratio is 1. It's above 1, rather. All right, slightly above 1. So, which suggests that future expectation is already built in this equity. But if you look at it, we are not rating agency, and what we are doing is not to rate one financial institution against another. We are never going to do that. But you see, figures don't have emotion. All right, they are very consistent. You can see from 77 kobo, 79 kobo, 94 kobo, then 147, 158. Even when the earning seems to be low, when they get to the following year, they doubled it. There was geometric growth. That is as far as Guaranteed Trust Bank PLC is concerned. And then we go to UBA. UBA cannot actually be said to be consistent in earnings, either for the first quarter, second quarter, or third quarter. However, the market is also always responding appropriately to such performance from UBA. So as we speak, the PEG ratio is 0.64, which suggests that based on that expectation of 1 naira 80 kobo from 1 naira 68 kobo, right, the price is currently very, very attractive, and so you could actually still consider the stock of UBA. Between the time we talked about the price selling at the lowest point, and now on this platform, the price of UBA PLC has grown by about 17%. If only you take what we do sometimes here and you just follow, you would have made at least 17% in that stock. The last that we'll be talking about on this platform this day is Zenith. All right, please. It's not as if I did the grading according to superiority. I just did it alphabetically. All right. No matter what alphabet you are counting, Z is the last alphabet. All right. Okay. For Zenith, I can tell you that it is about the most undervalued equity on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange when it comes to the financial sector as we speak. But again, that makes it a good buy for you. The PEG ratio against the expectation of 4 naira 50 kobo in the third quarter report for 2018 is 0.51. Listen to me. When you see a car that ought to be selling for 500,000 being sold at 300,000 naira, and you have tried it, the engine is intact, the gear is intact, the transmission intact, the body is good, the interior good, and nothing is wrong with it. What do? You go look for money and buy. Zenith is underpriced as far as the market is concerned. All right, I guess I've been able to guide you well enough. All right, you can only help a horse to the riverside. You cannot help the horse to drink water. If you and I now goes to the market and we invest our 5,000, invest our 10,000, the market will never be down. Now I face another discussion entirely as I have Haruna Kebira to my right hand side, and I guess on the screen he should probably be on the left hand side. Haruna, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
First, I want to say a very big thank you for sharing your trading to be with us on this platform this afternoon. Now, what I really want us to talk about is online trading. About 28 years ago or more, when I got to the market, it was always a big issue for those who are outside of Lagos investing in the stock market. I could recall the time we would travel from Lagos to Offa and all those places. But I don't know. There is this question that was thrown on the radio, I guess by someone, was it from Port Harcourt or Otta, was saying, can one trade the Nigerian stock market online? Like people trade Forex. Is it possible?
Definitely possible.
Then the second question I want to add is it possible through your organization, Global View Capital Limited? Maybe I did not introduce Haruna well enough. Haruna is a broker and he is with Global View Capital Limited. Is it possible?
It's very, very possible. What the NSE did in their magnanimity is to make sure that they give access to most of investors to be able to actually have a link into the market through what they call the fix. But in the general term, we call it the OMS, which is called the Order Management System. I think all you need to do, if you want, if anybody that want to come on board with Global View Capital Limited, is to open an account with us. By the time you open an account, we'll give you the CSCS account and your CHN. But the ERP, which is our software, we need to give you a number. And it is that number that we see, there is security that is built around it. You need to fill a form. When you fill the form, we put you on the OMS. All you needed to do is to have internet. You go to our website.
What's the website?
www.globalviewng.com.
All right.
Once you click on it, you see GT Trade. G-Trade, that is Global View Trade. When you click on it, it will ask you for your password, your username and your password, and you see the market. From that, you can be able to place a trade. You can be able to view your statement of account. You'll be able to receive your contract note. You can view your position. You can even view history of your transaction. In case you can really not place, maybe you buy a stock in tranches. Maybe you buy Zenith 12 naira, 15 naira, 30 naira in different price, volume and different prices. It can give you your work weighted average cost. You will know exactly what is costing you to have that 20 unit of Zenith at various prices, but at various units. So now, it's so efficient.
Now, back in days, I think around 96 or 97 or so, when we began to trade on stocks listed on the New York Stock Exchange, even right from Nigeria, there's what is called the watershed, whereby you could actually gauge price performances, though I think it's about 1 or 2 minutes delay back then. You could actually observe it. You see the way those prices are changing. All right. What are the features that investors can actually access on your own OMS, on your platform?
The OMS mimic the SGN.
Right.
It is exactly what is obtainable in the SGN. That is what is obtainable of the OMS.
Which means
you can actually see the watershed.
Right.
You can see the watershed. You can see, if you want to monitor a stock, just the way we monitor a stock per time on the SGN, you can monitor. You see the number of bids. You see the bid level. You see the bid depth. You can see the offer depth, and the offer level, the best offer, the best bid, all of they are there. What even news, as the news is hitting the system, it's also hitting your system.
No, when you say news now, are you talking about maybe quarterly reports and other things? Because, you know, back in days, what happens is that brokers on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange do have access to all those quarterly reports before the generality of the public, all right, at least. Because then, when brokers get the information within the trading hours, it is after closing of trade that day that the general market will probably have access. As a matter of fact, in some cases, it could even take the weekend. So now, if I got you right, what you are saying is that if any result is released to the market, it will also hit your platform.
The results, and even you saw this morning, there was a news from the market as per the number of stock that is going to be put on. It hits you direct. Any news that is released on the agent, it comes to you also directly. You see it the way I'm saying. It's just we are talking about delay, maybe about 30 nanoseconds or one second delay.
Technically we are saying is that investing, through your online platform is something like bringing the X-Gen to my laptop or my handset or my tablet.
At the comfort of your convenience, whether it is your bedroom, whether it is you want to trade in the car, or whether you want to trade in your office.
Aruna, I've got to allow you to go trade. I think the little we have said this afternoon should be enough guide. But I'm very sure quite a number of people who want to reach you after this program. Your number?
My number is 002-300-9379. 0802-300-9379.
All right. When else you come, I promise you that we'll create more time and then your number will be on the screen. Aruna, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
We are going to be together on the 20th of October with our workshop.
In fact, definitely I'll be there
and
live.
What will you be telling us?
We're still looking at investing in a bear market, especially when you are expecting quarter 3 results. And when what we'll do after the quarter 3 result have hit the market and have been reflected in the prices.
All right. So we are still here. And the next segment is going to be looking at health is wealth. Very important. Don't go away. I'm still here.